Hello, this is Mark, and I am going to show off a new feature that I added the last couple days to my Sports Illustrated baseball program that plays Sports Illustrated baseball as closely to how the game is actually played as I can do myself with my programming skills. So there was a comment on the last video I made that said that the person plays the game and they circle the outs on the score sheet when the out comes an automatic out from a pitcher. So I think he'd like to kind of see how good the pitchers were doing and how much impact they had on the game. So I thought that was kind of a good idea. I never thought of that before. So I added it to my program. So on the scorecard, I'll show it to you. I'll play a game with two good pitchers that will have a lot of automatic outs from their pitcher card. And the two pitchers I think I will pick are in 1972. So I'll go and pick 72. I'll say play game. I will say I'll play Gaylord Perry's Cleveland Indian against Wilbur Wood's Chicago White Sox. So there they are. And those are the records from the last auto season that I played in this year. So Gaylord Perry will be my starter on this team. Wilbur Wood on that team. You can see they got a lot of G's and F's and strikeouts there on their cards. So there the two guys are. Doesn't matter what the lineups are, so I'll just have the computer programmer pick lineups for both teams. So there's the lineup they picked for the Indians. Here's the lineup they picked for the White Stockings. And I will not bother showing you the dice rolls or sounds or anything like that. I'll play it the faster way just to kind of show the scorecard additions that I made. So here's my scorecard that I added a few weeks ago because I thought that was kind of a cool idea. And you can see the lineups there and the defensive ratings and the starting pitchers. You can see the defenses aren't too good. The Indians there have a total of 15, which gives them an automatic out of 12. And the White Sox total is only 5, which gives them the minimum automatic defensive out of 10, as you can see up by the team names. So with that being said, we'll start the game. So here we are in Comiskey Park, home stadium of the White Sox since they're the home team. And I won't go through all of this, but you can see there's the pitcher line up there, the top colorful line, and then the batter line against the left-handed pitcher is the next one. So McCraw's up there against Wilbur Wood. In this, instead of showing the dice, I push the any key once, and it spins both pitcher and batter dice. And you can say the pitcher dice was a 37 because that's what is highlighted with the yellow box. And then the batter dice roll must have been a 33 because that's what highlighted with the Tommy McCraw, the batter line below. So this is a ground out. It wasn't forced by the pitcher, so it won't have any squares on it. So let's do the next batter, Brohammer. He grounds out from his card. Then here's the pitcher out. See, the pitcher must have rolled a 23 because that's highlighted with the yellow box on the pitcher line, and there's no yellow box on the batter line. So he rolled a 23, and Wilbur Wood got Chambliss out, and Chambliss did not get to roll his dice. So here's what the scorecard looks like. So 2 ground outs from the batter's card, and then the Chambliss ground out is from Wilbur Wood's card. So that's kind of how that works. I'll just kind of whip through a couple more innings. There's a fly out, batter card, ground out, batter card, fly out, pitcher card. So the bottom of the first looks like that. And as you can imagine, you can kind of go through this pretty quickly when you're not hitting the keys to see the dice each time. So there's a pitcher card out. Wilbur Wood rolled the 23. Nettles comes up. Nettles is home run. Pitcher rolled the 34. Nettles rolled the 12. So there's a run for the Indians. And there is a double for Frank Duffy. Del Unser comes up and he grounds out. So there's the end of that inning. So it started off with Foster grounding out from the pitcher card. Nettles hit a home run, then a fly out, then a double, then a ground out. Here we go with Rick Reichert leading off. He's out. There's a walk. There's a fly out on the pitcher's card. Gaylord Perry's card. There's a single. Moves May to third. Rich Morales comes up. He flies out. So you can see the bottom of the second is 2 outs were done by Perry's pitcher card. Gaylord Perry leads off. He gets out by Wilbur Wood's card. You can see the 22 was circled with the yellow box. There's a pop-out by Tommy McCraw and a single by John Brohammer and a flyout on the pitcher's card. So here we go. Here we go. Wilbur Wood got 2 of the outs that inning. Here we go, bottom of the 3rd. Wilbur Wood's out. He's out. Andrews is out on the pitcher card. So look at the bottom of the 3rd. There's 2 more outs on the pitcher card. So Wilbur Wood and Gaylord Perry get a lot of outs from their own card, as you can probably imagine, because they have a lot of outs on their own card from the top line that you can see. Oh, there's a home run for Ray Foster of the Indians. So that makes the game 2-0. Here comes Nuttles back up again. No home run this time. He flies out. Ray Foster gets walked. Frank Duffy comes up. Frank Duffy grounds in a double play. So there's the end of this top of the 4th. Oh, no pitcher outs on the top of the 4th, you can see on the scorecard. Here's Perry pitching to Dick Allen. Perry rolls a 34 and gets an out. Perry rolls a 32. And then Reichert has to roll the dice. He rolls 28, gets a flyout. Carlos May singles. Ed Spezio strikes out on the pitcher card. So bottom of the 4th, Gaylord Perry got 2 outs from his card. So you can see it's kind of hard to score runs when you're facing one of these good pitchers who get a lot of outs without the batter even having a chance. Here's Del Enser leads off. Oh, good. Here's an example of an automatic out by the defense because of their defensive rating. We rolled a 10. You remember the Chicago White Sox is not a good defensive team, but 10 is their only number that they could make an outstanding play with, and they got a 10, so he's out. So when we see the scorecard, I'm happy to show you that top of the 5th there's a green box. That means that ground out was based on the defensive rating of actually 5. You can see down at the bottom of the scorecard of the White Sox. So you can see how many outs you get by pitching cards and pitching data, or how many outs you can get from the defensive ratings. So here we go, bottom of the 5th. White Sox down 2-0. Walks to Ed Herman. Rich Morales strikes out. That'll be on Perry's card. There's a single for Wilbur Wood, the pitcher. Walt Williams comes up. Walt Williams' nickname was No Neck. And in this case, he grounds out, moves up Wood to 2nd. And Herman to 3rd. Mike Andrews could tie the game, but he grounds out. So there is the bottom of the 5th. Here comes the top of the 6th. Wilbur pitching to Brohammer. There's an out. Chambliss strikes out. And Ray Foster strikes out also. None of the stuff that inning, top of the 6th, came from the pitcher's card, so there's no boxes around it on the scorecard. Here's Dick Allen, ground out. Rick Reichert, ground out. And Carlos May, single. And Ed Spezio, strikeout. So the whole 6th inning, none of the pitchers got any outs from their cards. Craig Nettles leads off, singles. Nettles having a good game. Ray Fosse strikes out on the pitcher card. There's a ground out on Wilbur Wood's card. And Del Unser comes up. He singles. Runner goes over to 3rd. Here comes Gaylord Perry. He'll bat. Probably, maybe would have pinch hit in real life, but he's ahead. Leave him in there. So there's 2 outs that inning on the pitcher card, on Wilbur Wood's pitcher card, top of the 7th. Here we go. Bottom of the 7th, Eddie Herman is out. Rich Morales is out. I'll show you how the pinch hit works. So we'll pinch hit for Wilbur Wood. There's my bench right there with all the lines. I'll pinch it with Pat Kelly. He looks like he's pretty good. Lefty against righty. There's the pitcher X card, so the pitcher X thing comes up on the side. But it was a wild pitch, so nothing happens. Pat Kelly gets another chance. Pat Kelly just gets out on Gaylord Perry's roll of 25, so he doesn't even get to roll the dice. Look at that. Gaylord Perry has an out on 25 and 34. Those are very commonly rolled dice. The 4s and 5s are the most common, and the 30s are more common than the 20s and 10s. So 34 and 35 are the most commonly rolled numbers, and he's got an out on that. All right, we're going to bring in a reliever. Let's pick one that's got a lot of outs. Terry Forster, how about him? He's got a strikeout there on 30-something, so that's good. Here we go, top of the 8th. Tommy McCraw flies out. Jack Brohammer. There's a strikeout from the pitcher. You can see there's that 34. for Cherry Forster. So that'll show up with a block around it. There's a single for Chambliss and a flyout for Ray Foster. So there's the strikeout. You can see top of the eighth that Roy Foster got. Forster got that, Terry Forster, because of his pitcher card. All right, bottom of the eighth. Let's see if these White Sox can do anything. There's an out by Andrews. He strikes out. Here comes Dick Allen. He strikes out. So easy bottom of the eighth for Gaylord Perry. 1, 2, 3. Top of the ninth, Nettles strikes out. There's a double. There's a hit for Ray Fosse. He's on second. Frank Duffy comes up. He strikes out. On the pitcher card, you can see pitcher rolled a 17, even though I'm not showing you the dice this game. And there's a ground out. That'll end that inning. So the pitcher got 2 of the outs. Forster got some outs. He got the two strikeouts there. Okay, bottom of the ninth. Here comes the White Sox last chance. Rick Reichert pops out. Carlos May grounds out. And Ed Spezio singles. So game goes on. Ed Herman catcher comes up, and he strikes out. So here's the final scorecard. It looks like this. You can see a lot of red boxes because the pitchers had a lot of outs. You can see just one single defensive out box there in the top of the fifth. Dal Unser grounded out. He rolled a 10 because that was the White Sox number for getting out. You can see there's the pitchers' stats completed. You can see down at the bottom there's Pat Kelly, the pinch hitter, and the relief pitcher Forster came in there on the line right above that. Wood/Forster, they're the pitchers. And that's about it. That's all I got to say. If you keep going in my game, it shows you the kind of the box score. There's the winning and losing pitcher. There's the hitting for the Indians. They got 2 runs on 8 hits. Any big hits? There are a couple of doubles, no triples. Oh, they got both their runs on home runs. Ray Foster hit a home run, and so did Craig Nettles. So two solo home runs accounted for their 2 runs. There's the White Sox. They got no runs on 5 hits. Here's the pitching of the Indians, which was just Gaylord Perry. Got the win, pitched 9 innings, 5 hits, 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. And there is White Sox pitchers. Wilbur Wood started and Forster relieved. And that is the end of that game that I just played to show you how I programmed a scorecard that looks just like the one that we used when we played the games and when we still play the games, and a way to mark the scorecard so you can see where the pitchers got the outs off their cards. So I hope that was interesting. And as usual, the updated program is on the Dropbox. So if anyone wants to try it out, feel free. No charge whatsoever. Get a Dropbox ID, the basic account, and then go and get it. I'll put the link in the comments of this video. So hope you all have a nice day, and over and out.